I've been filming a lot of content. Not only for YouTube, but also Instagram as well. And not only that, I've been filming a lot of commercial work, very heavy on social media. So all the gears I use are pretty much owned by me, and I bought all the stuff that I use in all of my content. Throughout the years, I get a lot of questions of what kind of lenses that I use for my videos. So today, let me go through literally all the lenses I use for videos. And I hope this video will help you guys to decide your purchase decision and see what kind of lens will fit for your needs for your videos. So if you guys are new to this channel, hi, my name is Peace Gates and I've been making videos for over a decade. And in this channel, I pretty much focus on whatever I like, which is lifestyle, a little bit of tech, and a little bit of camera stuff. I'm not gonna talk about too much of the lens that I'm currently using right now to film this A-roll, which is Sony 24mm F1.4 G Master. Because if you guys been watching my YouTube videos, I pretty much explained so many stuff about this lens. So we're just gonna let this roll. Let this camera roll and give you guys, general idea of what kind of image that you can film on this lens. I have to talk about the OG first because this lens literally was my first f1.4 autofocus lens, and I got this lens when I was in college, and this thing leveled the F up my content. So this is 35mm f1.4 autofocus lens from Sigma, and I've been using this lens for almost 7 years, 7 to 8 years, I think. Originally, Gaku recommended for me because I always wanted a fast aperture lens, and at that time he didn't shoot video, he was mainly focused on photos, and he told me that this lens is pretty much goated. So I was like, all right, bet. It's heavy, but the autofocus is very fast. The lens is super sharp. I mean, this lens feels physically very sharp too. It's like a giga chat of lens, fully made of metal, super heavy. It feels very expensive as well, and it's just a very lovely lens. The price that I bought this, I got it for use. I bought this lens for around, with current USD to yen conversion, I think I got it for around 450 bucks. I got it for 60,000 yen with no adapter, straight to Sony's camera. I think it's a steal. I feel like this lens is a fantastic place to start your filmmaking journey. There's only one downside in this lens, and that is the weight. This lens is super heavy, and if you shoot a lot on gimbals, you might need to rent or invest into stronger, newer gimbal because this thing is, insane. Also, this is not a bad thing. I feel like a lot of 35mm are like that, but the minimum focal distance is not too close. So if you film in like a macro shots with this lens, it will not be possible. However, you can always invest into macro lens filter to get a closer image without buying a macro lens. The second lens is my recent purchase, and that is Tamron 35mm to 150mm f2 to 2.8. Tamron used to be my favorite lens manufacturer because when I was in college, Tamron makes some very decent priced lens for amazing feature and specs. So I used to go crazy on Tamrons. But recently, Tamron just going insane on like not only specs, but for price for a brand new insane quality zoom lens as well. So I went back to Tamron and I purchased this, and I literally sold all my zoom lens. Well, I'll talk about this later, but this is literally the only telephoto and iPhone language 3x zoom or more than that type of zoom lens that I own. I feel like this lens is perfect middle ground between 24 to 70 from Sony and 70 to 200, I think 200 from Sony as well. 35 to 150 is literally what I needed. I used to have 150 to 600mm from Sigma, and that lens was so cool. But I kind of noticed that I only used 150 to 200mm on that lens. So it didn't really make a lot of sense for me to buy rather that's like 24 to 70 or 70 to 200. This lens right here not only saved my bank account, but save my content creation as well. For a zoom lens that has insane amount of range, I think this lens is pretty light. I recently went back to my home prefecture, Hiroshima, and I decided to take only one lens, and that was this lens. And as you guys can see from the example clips, it looks beautiful. Do I recommend this lens? I 100% recommend this lens. If you're looking for a zoom lens and you don't want to spend a ton of money on G Master or other different types of telephoto focus zoom lens, just get this one and you should be good to go. I love wide lens. Wide lens are amazing not only for vlogging, but the fact that you can capture the entire environment where the subject is placed on. It gives you a unique look as well, and if you're a landscape photographer, it's super cool. I have 2 recommendations. One I haven't really used yet, so I can't really recommend this to everyone, but as of right now, I really like this lens. Let's start off with the Sony 10 to 18mm F4 OSS, which is crazy lens because it used to be super cheap. You could get this for around $150. But so many creators started recommending this lens and the 11mm f1.8, I think. Those 2 lenses, resale price is insane because they don't make this anymore. The used will probably be around $400 to $500. This lens is amazing for vlogs and social content because it has OSS built in, which is optical steady shot from Sony. So the lens itself will stabilize the image too. Even though this is an APS-C lens, I use it for full frame. So the 10mm, you can see so much vignette. You can see the outside of the lens, but that's kind of a little bit of fisheye effect too, so it's pretty cool. But I usually use it around 14mm because it will look a little more professional. And even though this is F4, I feel like a lot of the time for vlogs and stuff or social content with a ton of movements, F4 is pretty much enough. And yeah, I love this lens. However, recently I bought an alternative for this lens, and that is Laowa's very first autofocus lens, which is crazy for this thing. But this is 10mm full frame 10mm f2.8. So this is a true full frame 10mm with crazy fast aperture of 2.8 for a wide lens. This lens is pretty much out of stock on any website or stores, but if you can find one, it's like $8.99 brand new, but I think it's well worth it. Not only this lens will give you a unique look, but the fact that the minimal focal distance is like super close too, so you can get some macro shots as well. The last, certainly not the least, is my vintage lens. I used to be a huge Helios 58mm guy, but recently I switched to PENTAX lens, and that is Super-TAKUMAR 55mm f1.8. The reason why I got this lens is because of the lens flare. The lens flare that this lens provides is truly something else. It gives you like this dreamy halo ring type of vibe, lightly type shit going on, and I never seen lens like this before. It's truly like a Japanese word called wabi-sabi. It's like finding perfection in imperfection, and the lens flare and the chromatic aberration happening in this lens is totally, for a current lens standard, it's pretty much defect, I guess, but that makes vintage lens so beautiful and so unique. I truly love this lens. The minimal focal distance is pretty much super far. I don't even know the actual number, and it's very hard to get the focus right when you're in f1.8, and also it doesn't really have any stabilization in the lens as well, so if you shake a lot or if you're using handheld, it's gonna shake a ton. But that's what makes this lens absolutely beautiful. The weight is also super light too, so that's a plus. I think this lens, if you want to get into vintage lenses for film, for video, or for digital photos as well, PENTAX Super-TAKUMAR 55mm f1.8, I highly recommend. But anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button, and if you guys like my video style, please hit the subscribe button. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day. My name is Peace Gates, and you guys already know. Peace out, guys.